What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall market. I'm also going to talk about why we're going to be looking for some very interesting volatility for the markets moving forward. Now, things we're looking as we have FOMC for today, but just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15. And the offer ends very soon, just 13 days. So, what do I see for the market thus far? I do anticipate there might be a little dip coming once we open to fill some gaps and retest some supports. But overall, we're going to be looking for some sideways price action to start things off, and then there's going to be a very very big surge in volatility once we get the FOMC results. So I'll be talking about that for now, and then I'll break down the charts in just a minute. Today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Just know that there's nothing too crazy coming out in the data. Everything's going to be very minor to start things off, at least in the morning. But then as time goes on, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the interest rate decision coming up. We're expecting a 25 basis point cut from the Fed. There's currently a 95% chance we get that. So the market does favor a 25 basis point cut. And then on top of that, I want to say that we have the FOMC economic projections afterwards. We have the first, second, and third years that are also going to be coming out. So look for some volatility at 2 p.m. once all this data comes out. And then at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the press conference, which is when we have the big guy Jerome Powell giving his speech. Now, just know that there was a slight increase in all items CPI, so we'll have to see what Jerome Powell says to account for that and what kind of stance he takes, and whether or not this leads to a big rug pull in the markets or a big bounce. We'll have to see about that. For now, the market is in a very interesting place. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq were both holding up. We are seeing the Dow Jones being a little bit weak, as it had 9 straight days of losses on Tuesday. So we'll see if we get some kind of bounce or not after Jerome Powell starts opening his mouth very soon. And then two more things. Just know that the U.S. Congress is in a very, very critical place right now. We're getting very close to a potential government shutdown. Funding is running out very soon, so we'll have to see how they end up joined to this. What kind of changes are they going to be making? Are they going to be funding the government until March again? And what are the plans essentially? So we'll be watching to see how that goes. And then on top of this, there's been some talk about how Nissan and Honda could be considering a merger because they're preparing to enter negotiations to join forces to compete with different competitors, especially in the EV sector. So that's what they're basically doing for now. But that's pretty much it, at least on main headlines. Now I just want to focus on what's happening with the charts. So as far as the market goes, I am seeing a tiny little dip that could be coming. SPY could be retesting this gap area around the 604 zone, maybe even go a little lower before it gets bought back up. But I expect a little bit of volatility upon open, then lots of sideways price action right here as the day goes on until we get to FOMC, which is when we're going to be looking for a big move. But here's the main thing to remember, okay? Yes, there might be a dip here, some volatility, then consolidation. But if we get the results from FOMC and there's a big rug pull, you want to see SPY lose 602. If that fails us, we're looking for a dump all the way down to 605.98 after Jerome Powell's speech. If we get a bounce, you want to break past the 608 area to push us towards at least 612 or above. So it could go either way depending on which way we end up breaking, right? Break this resistance up here near the all-time high, and we easily push up towards 612, if not 615. And if you lose the support down here at 602, we could easily dump to about 598 or 595. We're stuck in the middle going back and forth for now, so it's going to likely continue to do this. Then we'll have to see what kind of move we make as time goes on. But for now, just know that there might be a small dip once we open. SPY could retest 604 or even below, and then we'll have to see if we get a bounce or not as the day goes on. We might see a little bit of a bounce and some consolidation and lots of sideways price action afterwards. And then, the market's going to be stuck for some time until we get FOMC, so just keep that in mind. For ES, it's the same thing essentially. If you look at this setup, this is what we're looking like. We may continue to downtrend for a little bit longer, might come a little bit lower right here towards 61.20. We'll have to see if we get some kind of bounce. If we break out above 61.60, we could see a big move to the upside. If not, if this starts dumping, we're going to be looking for this to lose 61.10. That could favor some more downside. There's been some talk about a potential end of the year Santa rally, so I don't know about that yet. So we'll just have to see what happens with Jerome Powell. So the best thing to do is just take it one step at a time and see what CPI leads to. Then we'll see if we get a bounce or not. But for now, make sure you watch these levels very, very closely. We might see a small dip here, closer to about 61.20, a rebound and some sideways price action. Then FOMC is going to cause this side to launch to new highs or cause a big rug pull. So we'll see what ES ends up doing. For Nvda, we're trying to rebound right here. So this is what's helping the market bounce to some extent. We'll have to see if 133 holds. If it holds, we're looking for 136. If it doesn't hold, we look for a retest of 131. We could go either way, but there's potential for a small bounce to 136. So we'll give this more time to develop. For Bitcoin has resistance around 104,789. If we lose that, we're looking for a move back down to 103,500. If we hold this, we could attempt a rebound. It's very choppy right here, so it might chop around until we get FOMC's results, launching this either back up to all-time highs or giving us a rug pull back down to 101,000. So give it some time to develop. For Tesla, just know this, we're showing a little bit of weakness right now. Just like a lot of stocks, this could slow down just a bit more. We have a range. Around 460, we tend to get bought back up, in 480 is where we like to reject. If 460 fails, however, we could be revisiting our 20 EMA, which is going to be in the low 450s by the time we open. So there could be a small dip coming to 460 and a lot of sideways price action. And we'll see if the Fed launches this new highs back towards like 480 to 490, or if we end up getting a big rug pull back down to like 440. So it could go either way, but just know there might be a lot of sideways price action between 460 and 480 to start things off. NQ may retest 22,250, maybe even below that, come back up just straight sideways. So I'll have to see if we rebound or not. So give it some time. Look for a small dip and some sideways price action. We'll see what the reaction happens to be once we retest 22,250. The QQQ could also be dipping towards 532. So we might be dipping back down towards our 20 EMA and rebounding, just trading sideways. We're range bound between 538 and 532 for now. If we get a big pump thanks to FOMC, we could be looking for a test of the 540s, like 542. And if we end up getting a rug pull, you want to see us lose 532 to dump to 526. So it could go either way, in my opinion, but there might be a small dip here. It's about 532 and some sideways price action. Then we'll just have to see how it goes. For Apple, we're dipping a little bit, might be retesting 251 to 250 before it attempts, a little bounce here. So it might come down towards our 20 EMA, rebound and trade sideways. Then FOMC either launches this up to 255 or it gives us a big rug pull for 245. So keep that in mind. For the Russell, we are trying to rebound. This might dip to about 231, rebound for 233, and trade sideways for some time, and we'll see if we break out in either direction. So give it some time. For coin, we're kind of stuck here. We have to try to see if we could, break past 313 to start pushing, if we get a rug pull below 304. So we're also stuck right here. This might dip a little bit, so keep that in mind. Might be a retest of 305. Amazon might retest 229.76 and then rebound and trade sideways. If we lose this, there might be a little bit more downside towards like 228. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a big move. It might just be a small dip. And then we'll see what happens once we get FOMC. Do we launch back up to 235 plus or get a rug pull? I'll be waiting for that. Meta may also dip towards like 619, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we get there. If that fails, I'm looking for essentially 613. So it could be a little bit of a dip and a bounce, some sideways price action in this range here. And then we'll see if we break out for 625, if we get a big rug pull. So give this more time to develop. For Microsoft, we might retest 449 or below, 448 to 449. We'll see if we bounce or not. So we're completely range bound for now, and we'll give this some time. For Google, we could be retesting 194, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. So give this some time as well. Might be a small dip, and then we'll see how it goes. But anyways, that is it for my video. Look for a small dip upon open and a lot of sideways price action after that. And then we'll be waiting to see what happens after FOMC. FOMC is going to be the big catalyst to really shake this market. So we'll see if we get a rug pull or not. And then be very, very patient nonetheless. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see what the market ends up doing. We'll see if Powell gives us the rug pull or not. So get ready for that. Until then, watch your levels and peace out.